Welcome to our Bible quiz. Want to have fun while testing your knowledge of the scriptures? This quiz was created for you to learn in a relaxed and interactive way. Have you subscribed to the channel? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss the daily videos with more incredible quizzes. Let's begin. Question 1. What animal spoke to Balaam? A. Lion. B. Donkey. C. Lamb. D. Eagle. Correct answer, B. Donkey. Verse. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you, that you have struck me these 3 times?" Numbers 22:28. Balaam was on his way to curse Israel when his donkey, seeing the angel of the Lord blocking the way, refused to go any further. After being struck by Balaam, God opened the donkey's mouth, and she spoke to him. Question 2. What food did the ravens bring to the prophet Elijah? Bread and meat. B. Bread and fish. C. Bread and fruit. D. Meat and milk. Correct answer, A. Bread and meat. Verse. And the ravens brought him bread and meat by the hour morning, as well as bread and meat in the afternoon, and drank from the brook. 1 Kings 17 verse 6. While Elijah was hiding by the brook Cherith, the Lord sent ravens to feed him. The ravens brought him bread and meat both morning and evening so that the prophet would have something to eat during the drought and famine that was upon the land. Question 3. What physical consequence did Jacob have as a result of wrestling with an angel? A. He became blind. B. He lost the strength in his legs. C. His hip was dislocated. D. He had a mark on his face. Correct answer, C. His hip was dislocated. Verse. And when he saw that he could not prevail against him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, and Jacob's hip was dislocated, while he wrestled with the angel. Genesis 32 verse 25. After wrestling with an angel for a night, Jacob's hip was dislocated as a result of this confrontation. The angel touched the socket of Jacob's hip, causing him an injury, but it was also at this moment that Jacob received the name Israel, as a mark of his struggle and spiritual victory. Question 4. What was Daniel's Babylonian name? Belshazzar. B. Nebuchadnezzar. C. Mordecai. D. Belshazzar. Correct answer, A. Belshazzar. Verse. The chief of the eunuchs gave Daniel the name Belshazzar. Daniel 1 verse 7. When Daniel was taken to Babylon, he and his friends were given Babylonian names. The name given to Daniel was Belshazzar, in honor of the Babylonian god Bel. This was part of the process of cultural assimilation in which the Jews were integrated into Babylonian society. Question 5. Which king pretended to be crazy to save his life? David. B. Rehoboam. C. Pilate. D. Jehoshaphat. Correct answer, A. David. Verse. And he crawled in the gates, and the spittle ran down his beard. 1 Samuel 21 verse 13. When David was fleeing from King Saul, he went to King Achish of Gath and, in order to escape death, pretended to be crazy. He did this so that the king would think he posed no threat, and thus managed to save his life. Question 6. Which king stole Solomon's gold shields? Rehoboam. B. Jeroboam. C. Ahab. D. Nebuchadnezzar. Correct answer, A. Rehoboam. Verse. And King Rehoboam made shields of bronze in place of the shields of gold that Solomon had made. 1 Kings 14 verse 27. Solomon's son Rehoboam was the king of Judah after the division of the kingdom. When Egypt invaded and sacked Jerusalem, King Shishak took the gold shields that Solomon had made. Rehoboam then replaced the gold shields with bronze shields. Question 7. Which king's hand was withered when he tried to harm a servant of God? Nebuchadnezzar. B. Jeroboam. C. Ahab. D. David. Sinai. B. Gerazim. C. Ebal. D. Ararat. Correct answer, B. Jeroboam. Verse. And it came to pass, when he stretched out his hand to take the prophet, that his hand dried up, so that he could not draw it in unto himself. 1 Kings 13 verse 4. When King Jeroboam tried to arrest a prophet of God, he stretched out his hand to command him, but his hand was withered as a sign of divine warning. He then asked the prophet to pray for him, and his hand was restored after prayer. Question 8. Where were Jesus' disciples first called Christians? F. Rome. B. Jerusalem. C. Antioch. D. Ephesus. Correct answer, C. Antioch. Verse. And in Antioch the disciples were first called Christians. Acts 11 verse 26. It was in Antioch, an important city at the time, that Jesus' followers first began to be called Christians. This term was probably used pejoratively, but in time it became the official name for Christ's followers. Question 9. What foods did Jesus satisfy the hunger of a multitude by multiplying? Bread and meat. B. Bread and fish. C. Bread and honey. D. Bread and fruit. Correct answer, B. Bread and fish. Verse. Then Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed them to the disciples, and the disciples to those who were seated, and in the same way of the fishes as much as they wanted. John 6 verse 11. Jesus performed a miracle in which he multiplied 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes to feed a multitude of 5,000 men, as well as women and children, in the wilderness. This miracle is one of the best-known examples of the compassion and power of Jesus, who not only cared for the spiritual needs of the people, but also for their physical needs. Question 10. Whose friend did Jesus weep over? F. John. B. Lazarus. C. Peter. D. James. Correct answer, B. Lazarus. Verse. When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come with her, he was deeply moved in spirit and asked, Where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. John 11 verses 33 to 35. Jesus wept over the death of his friend Lazarus, even though he knew he would soon resurrect him. This act demonstrates Jesus' humanity and compassion for people, showing that he cares deeply about human suffering. The verse, Jesus wept, is the shortest in the Bible, but it carries a deep meaning about Jesus' empathy. Congratulations on completing the quiz. We're glad we shared this moment with you. If you liked it, share it with your friends and challenge them too. Check out the description for more quizzes and download our exclusive ebook with more questions to keep learning. Until the next quiz, and may God bless you.